On this week's episode, it's the best of the Punk Rock Foodies radio interviews of 2015 with the Foodies themselves.
All right, that was the Riverboat Gamblers with On Again, Off Again, one of my favorite bands from Austin, Texas. Here's Xander. Okay, hold on. He's taking a shot, which we all should right now.
All right, welcome back to Punk Rock Foodie Radio on punkrockradio.net, airing live from the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mattersville. On the phone with us right now is one of the gorgeous ladies of Punk Rock Foodies, or Glopper. Does that make sense? Gorgeous ladies of Punk Rock Foodies, Savvi Nichole, everybody. Savvi, how you doing?
Hi, pretty fine. How are you?
I'm good. Good to have you on the air. Some of you may know Savvi from a few of her posts. She doesn't post a lot of food. However,
I'm poor.
What's that?
That's because I'm poor and I can't afford to post all the food I want to.
Because pictures cost money.
Because food costs money.
No, but you may know her. She tends to cook for a lot of bands. Somehow, I don't know. Maybe it's your location. I mean, you're in where? Laramie, Wyoming, right?
Yeah, I'm in Laramie, Wyoming, but it's only 2 hours from Denver, so I pretty much cover the whole Denver, Fort Collins, Laramie scene, and I'm officially partnered with Feed the Scene on the East Coast, so that's how I get some of my hookups to feed some of these cool bands.
Excellent. Like, recently, and when I say recently, I can't recall how long ago it was. It could have been a week ago, it could have been 2 months ago. You had the Pears from New Orleans. Off of,
right, that was back in November.
Yeah.
Well, I cooked for them twice. I cooked for them, they played Laramie, and then they opened for the Bouncing Souls in Denver on the 30th of December, and I cooked for them for that show also.
And what did you make? Do you recall? It was a long time ago.
Well, I think in November I made some sort of white wine cream sauce pasta magic, and in December I made chili bean and casserole. Which I actually got from the group. I got the recipe from a group member.
Excellent. That's one of the benefits of being part of this group.
Right.
How was it taken by the band? They were happy. They were disgusted. Did they go out for pizza later?
No, they were really excited. They particularly loved the leftovers I sent with them on the road. And also I made it a point to have vegetables, because I'm not sure that bands on tour ever actually eat vegetables, so there was that too.
God, no. Why would you eat vegetables?
Right, a little bit of greenery was also necessary.
Well, I'm sure they appreciated that the next day, having to stop to use the restroom.
It's better than having to rely on cheese to plug you up.
That's true. Well, the Vicodin will do it too. What other bands have you cooked for?
Well, honestly, I'm just getting started out, so I haven't cooked for a whole lot of other bands. My next couple months are really busy, though. I have Cheap Girls, Masked Intruder, kind of like spitting, Western settings, a whole lot of bands on the lineup for the next couple weeks or a couple months.
Now,
that's going to be fun.
Well, you'll have to get back to us on this, obviously, since you haven't cooked for them yet, but Masked Intruder, they wear masks.
It's true. It is true.
It's got to be.
I thankfully have encountered them with their masks on several times. So
it's going to be difficult to eat like that, I could imagine.
Well, they have mouth holes, right? They sing.
Oh yeah, they do have mouth holes and sing that way. That's right. For some reason, I was envisioning the whole mouth being covered, kind of ski mask.
Like actual intruder style.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking name. Now, do you know if you're going to be cooking for them? Do you know if Officer Bradford will be with them, or is it just the boys in the band?
He usually is. because the times I encounter them outside of concerts, he's usually around with them. This just happened today with Maps Intruder. They just announced the Denver date, and we started emailing today, so that just happened.
Oh, well, excellent. So when is the date of that show?
Sometime in March. Hold on, let me check my calendar.
Okay, that's fine. We're good. We can wait. You are listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net, coming to you from the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mattersville. We're on the air with PRFer, one of the gorgeous ladies of PRF, Savvi Nichole. She's currently checking her calendar. It's exciting.
Yeah, they're not on this calendar. They're actually on my calendar at work, but I think it's the third week of March. It's somewhere between Cheap Girls and kind of like spitting. That's really all I remember.
Oh, well, excellent.
There's a lot of shows in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I find it interesting, like, just, personally from being in the northeast area, I see, like, this time of the year, between January and March, you don't get a lot of bands because it's so goddamn cold and they usually go more south. But, I mean, March, Denver in March, it's got to be a fucking cold time too, right?
Yeah, actually, March is when we get the most of our snowstorms. They just melt a lot quicker, so there could be some interesting weather, but it's been really, really mild so far. The silver lining of climate change before shit gets real, so.
Yeah. So, you're a big road tripper, traveling to go see bands and shit like that. Any advice for anybody that is traveling out anywhere, say, going across country to maybe, Las Vegas at the end of May for some reason?
If anybody was, maybe perhaps driving across the country to this, bowling music event, perhaps?
Possibly.
Possibly that.
Like tips for on the road and, eating on the road and just making the best of it.
So I try to get real strategic about what I pack in my cooler. Cliff Bars, V8, stuff that keeps you relatively nourished, but isn't exactly a whole lot of food. I don't like to spend money at the gas station. And then I actually sleep in my car because I am hobbit size. So if you can be prepared to sleep in your car comfortably, that makes going across the country a lot easier.
Excellent. Definitely would pack some blankets for that.
Yeah, I lay my seats down flat and then put a mattress pad, like one of those dorm room egg crates down. It's kind of like actually sleeping on a bed.
Yeah, you must be short.
I'm 5 foot even.
Wow, that's almost midget size.
Almost. I've got it by half an inch. I'm
Yeah.
totally a big kid. I'm an adult. I promise.
If you say so. Okay. What is one of your go-to meals to make? Just in general. Hey, I'm hungry. You know what? I'm gonna stop and pick up these couple ingredients and make this. What is that meal?
Well, it's probably actually the pasta cream sauce that I made for pears. I made that because I make it all the time. It's really simple. It's just heavy cream, white wine, and Parmesan, and then throw in whatever seasonings you want. So it's really easy to make up. I almost always have a box of white wine in my fridge.
It's a cardboard carafe.
Yeah, yes, we can pretend to make it classy. We all really know.
A grown-up juice box? I don't know, whatever.
Once I figure out how to put a straw in, we all set.
That sounds like the grown-up Capri Sun.
That sounds amazing.
Perfect. What's your top restaurant to eat at, either in Laramie or Denver or amongst your travels? What is your place to go to?
In Laramie, I have 2 places. I really like a local place called the Crowbar and Grill. They mostly serve pizzas and burgers, but they get all of their meat fresh from the butcher every day here in town, and I think you can actually taste the difference. They're also the only place in town that does pizza by the slice late night. That's very important. And then our vegetarian place in town totally kicks ass. They're actually the #1 restaurant in town for the last decade. I really like that place.
What's the name of that place?
In in Denver, the name of that place is called Sweet Melissa's.
Okay.
And then in Denver, I'm still exploring all the new restaurants down there, so I don't necessarily have a favorite place yet besides maybe like Illegal Pete's, the burrito place.
I've heard great things about Illegal Pete's from many bands. They're very supportive of the music scene.
Yeah, they're really supportive. If you tell them online that you're going to be coming through one of their Colorado locations on tour, you can register ahead of time and they'll send you a coupon for a free burrito for everyone in your band. So they will also feed you, but they also put on shows a lot too.
So any bands listening to that or listening to this that heard that
Free food.
Online, Illegal Pete's, I've heard they're huge supporters of the music industry, and this is now more than one person who has said that. So get online, let them know you're coming through Colorado area, and get yourself some free burritos for you and the band. And that's the one thing, burritos apparently is like the big band food. I mean, I'm not a huge burrito fan. Maybe it's my Northeast upbringing.
Yeah, it's usually East Coast people. You just don't know.
I mean, I don't know. You know what? I had a conversation with Kevin about this, and my biggest issue with this is the fucking rice. They load that rice in there, and I don't know.
That's funny you say that because a real burrito, like a true burrito, doesn't have rice in it. It's the meat and onions and cilantro and maybe some cheese, but probably not. Rice and beans should be on the side.
See, okay, you totally bummed me out with the cilantro and the lack of cheese.
Taste the lack of cheese.
I am a cheese whore.
People, I'm sure we'll put cheese on it anyway.
I'm a cheese whore. I need it in there. That's the one thing that keeps me from being vegan completely is cheese. Well, cheese and eggs.
Yeah, that's good. Cheese is pretty great.
Excellent. All right, well, it was great talking to you, Savvi. Do you have anything you're plugging or want to let anybody know about or anything like that?
There's some things in the works, but I'm not sure I have anything specifically right now besides, if you're a band coming through Laramie, Fort Collins, or Denver, hit me up.
Okay, and you can get in contact with her on the Facebook. She's all over the Punk Rock Foodies page, so you got to go there, become a member, check out the great recipes and foods that everyone's making. Savvi made an awesome meal for the pairs that she found on the page, so that's one of the other great aspects of Punk Rock Foodies. So check it out. Thank you, Savvi, for being with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
This is Brian Reinhardt, and for some reason you're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio Best of 2015.
All right, and we are back on Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Our next guest here, Richard. If you're a follower of Richard Branson, he has referred to her as an extremely inspirational person. If you don't know who Richard Branson is, get your head out of your ass. He's the head of Virgin. Flies blimps around the world. He's an amazing man. If you're just a punk fan, no effects fan, then you may know her as Nubs. She is Talli Osborne. Talli, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, speaking of no effects, they write a song about you. What was that like? Just how did it make you feel?
Amazing.
Was
It
it?
made me feel awesome. I've been my band, in a band since I was 12 years old, so it's kind of like a crazy thing to happen. I felt like I was high for a couple months. It was like an incredible experience. And then being backstage with Mike for the first time after the song was written. It was me first in the Gimme Gimmes at a work tour in Toronto, and I got the royal treatment, backstage pass, and all the jazz. And yeah, it was amazing. It's like a dip into the VIP, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I can imagine. They're my favorite band, and they never wrote a song about me, so I can only imagine how that would feel.
And then everywhere I go, I hear people like down the street going, "Nubs!" concert, and people would be like, Nubs! So all of a sudden I have this nickname.
Yeah.
I had no choice on it's now a nickname.
Yeah, one of Kevin had said about like how you ask her, how did that change her life? And I'm thinking it had to immensely, because here I am interviewing her, and I had no idea who she was, except thanks to NoFX. And now I follow you on Twitter and
kind of getting famous in the punk world. Like, play that song in every country, in almost every country in the world, and people know me in Israel and Japan, all over the place. It's nuts. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy. Now, did you know that he was writing the song, or did it just happen and then he's like, oh, hey, by the way?
No, I ended up backstage at a show a year and a half before, and I got to meet Fat Mike. We just talked for a few seconds, and then I left and went home and had a good night, of course, but awesome butter, cool night. And then a year and a half later, that song came out, and a buddy of mine got the album right before I did it. I didn't hear it yet, and he was like, call me up. I was like, oh my god, today. I think this song. I was like, what? Fuck off. So not the album, I listened to it, and I was like, oh my god. I think it is about me, but I wasn't 1,000,000%. I was like, it's probably about me, but who am I to say that NoFX is right about me, because I'm nobody? So I went onto the Fat Records website, and I just hit that contact me button and wrote a letter, and got an email back from Fat Mike saying, yep, it is about you. Hope you like it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and you've been saying the song. I hope she thinks. Hope she don't get mad. I hope she thinks the song is good, not bad.
Yeah.
Because he had no clue if I'd like it or not, or if I'd be pissed off. And he was hoping for the best. And yeah.
Right. That's great. That's
He could
awesome.
write anything about me, and I'd like it. I think.
So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do. Like I said in your intro, Richard Branson, I know you worked for Virgin, and Richard Branson has many accolades to pass on about you. He thinks you're amazing, and not just him. I've heard it from other people. Some of the guys in Old Man Markley have talked to me and said great things about you. So I know you've got a website, tallyosborne.com. What is it that you do?
I am an inspirational speaker, and I basically go around and I tell my personal stories of my life, the challenges that I've faced, how I've overcome them, and also, the great things that I've achieved with, the limitations that I may have. Just my positive outlook on life, and I just try and share that story with people and share that positivity with people so that they can, live their life to the fullest and, love themselves. Some people don't love themselves. I feel like through my story, I feel like sometimes people are inspired to, not really care what other people think and just love who they are no matter what. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is just spread inspiration and love and positivity through the world.
Yeah, that's great. And that's something that I think everybody needs. There's always those times where you always feel, where everybody feels out of place, or that they don't belong.
Yeah, I think we've all been there, and the way that a lot of people ask me why I don't call myself a motivational speaker, and technically I am one, but I don't go around saying, you want this great life? You can do what that to me is
Tony
what a
Robbins.
motivational speaker is. What I do is just to tell stories, like I said, and you can, usually my audience relates to each story in a personal way, and I don't tell you how to relate to it. Certain people relate to each different stories personally, and I've had people crying, even though my story is not a sad one. It's just that sometimes my stories bring them back to a place they've been, where maybe it was a hard time, maybe a time where they were bullied, because I do speak on bullying and cyberbullying. So like I said, it's just more how you can relate to my stories and kind of move on from maybe a negative experience you had, or just look positively into an experience you're currently having.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I think a lot of people need to care less about what other people think. A lot, and I think they put themselves in a situation, not typically in a situation, like a physical situation, but like a mental, emotional situation where they're worrying too much about what other people are thinking, and it's cathartic to say who gives a fuck, It's cathartic to be like, this is who I am, and you don't like it, fuck you,
Yeah, and I can say that now.
Mm-hmm.
Who gives a fuck what people think? I am who I am, and I love who I am. I was not into it.
Right.
And I when I was a kid, I wanted to look like everyone else so bad. And I tried to do whatever I could to fit in. And I used to wear prosthetic leg, arms, and I did everything I can. And it just wouldn't work. And you know why? Because I'm not everyone else. And I'm wrong, and I say fuck that.
Right.
I'm not trying to fit in. I'd rather just stand out and embrace who I am. Now I'm admitting who I am, and I stand out for the better. People recognize me on the street. People recognize me in so many different places that I've traveled. And it's an awesome feeling, not fitting in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think that because growing up being different and not being able to fit in, do you think that's why you levitated towards the punk rock genre and scene?
I think definitely part of it is that. That is, to me, is what punk rock is just embrace who you are and say, fuck it, this is who I am, like it or leave it. But also,
yes.
First time, and I was like, oh my god, this is the best. So it's a little bit holiday,
Right. No, that's great. So you are, like you said, you're not a motivational speaker, you're an inspirational speaker.
Yes. I don't mind if people call me a motivational speaker, but it's not the term that I usually use. Because I inspire. I don't motivate.
Right.
Well, I'm sure I motivate as well. But you know me, there's a difference.
Right, absolutely. You're not forcing people to change, you're just inspiring them to make their own decisions on what to do.
Exactly. To inspiring them to be the best, to be the best you can be.
Yeah.
Not to be a certain way, but just be the best person that you can be.
And so you speak at private engagements. People can reach out to you to get you at their event or
yes,
whichever.
Yep, I speak at a lot of corporate events, a lot of schools. I love speaking with children. It's my favorite group. A lot of grade 9 groups I speak to, and I also last summer I spoke at the Hamilton Supergirl, which is a huge kind of street festival here in Hamilton, and that's a public event, so a lot of my friends and family can come and watch it. Hear my stories. They usually, some of them already knew some of the stories that I told, but it was different for them because it's a really personal thing that I'm doing. I'm opening up my heart and I'm really expressing personal stories. So if anyone wants to book me for an event, they can just contact me through my website, Talli Osborne, and we can discuss the event and talk about that jazz.
Yeah, and you're also you're obviously on Facebook, but you have a She's Nubs Facebook page as well.
Yeah, it's facebook.com/she'snubs, and my Twitter's Nubs416, and so is my Instagram.
Oh, you know what? I don't follow you on Instagram. I've been following you on Twitter for a while.
How dare you?
I know I'm an idiot. I should have known.
I forget about, I don't really seek out people on Instagram, to be honest, so I know the feeling, I don't go on my way to follow people unless I'll see somebody starts following me, and I'm like, oh, I want to follow that person. person, but I don't really go out of my way either. I forget sometimes to go and find people on Instagram, so don't you worry.
Okay. Hey, so this is a food radio program, so I got to ask about food. You're in Canada. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I lived in Erie, Pennsylvania. I've been to Canada a number of times in my life. My dad goes up there and hunts all the time, so I've had all the caribou and the elk and muskox and all the weird animals that can withstand the cold weather. But is there any weird regional stuff that you're really into up there? Or?
As for the weird animals, I don't really go there. I probably haven't eaten any of those weird animals. I do eat meat, but I try not. My rule is I try not to eat new meat because I don't want to eat any new animals that I haven't tried. But as for things in Canada that we have best of, poutine is probably my favorite Canadian thing. It's fish fries with Canadian Montreal cheese curds and gravy. That is my favorite. I think my favorite Canadian thing. But I have to say that I am punk rock foodie. I am food is my punk rock is one of my favorite topics on this planet. So I cook and I love food and I love making food on my recipes and delish. Getting hungry just thinking about it.
I know I'm thinking about what I'm going to do for dinner here. Yeah, well, that's why I started the group too. I was like, I love punk rock and I love to cook, so it just makes sense to combine them,
Yeah, sometimes when I'm hungry and I don't know what to make, but I want to look at food, I go to your punk rock foodie Facebook page and I just look at people's posts to make me really hungry. It's awesome.
I've got to ask. So, how do you cook?
Well, depends on what I'm cooking, but I have a stool that's, kind of those vintage stools that are like really tall, but then they have little stairs that look out?
Yes.
I have a stool like that, so I can climb onto it and it makes me as high as the stove. And yeah, I cook everything and anything. I cook Thai food and Italian and seafood and Mexican, anything you can imagine. I cook, and people ask, how do I cook? And cooking is a lot of things. It's cooking, it's stirring, it's whisking. You know what I mean? So there's,
right.
I have to figure out how to do every little part of that. Most of the time, the whisk or the spoon or the knife rests between my chin and my arm.
Mm-hmm.
So I hold it like that, and then I usually hold the pan, the handle of the frying pan with my other arm, and cook that way. And the way that I chop is I hold the knife a similar way, but it rests on my collarbone. So it's not a really fun process. So now I have my sous chef and onion cutter for my hat. My partner at the time, he is my sous chef. And with him, I can cook so many awesome things because he does all the chopping. So it's awesome.
Excellent.
But yeah, I pretty much use my arms and my chin for most cooking. I keep the feet out of there because I don't know if people want my food.
No, that would probably not go.
All my feet are really clean and almost as nice as most people's hands, but my feet out of the food.
Yeah. Tim Hortons. That's amazing coffee and donuts, or just okay?
It's not really for me. Where I live in Hampton, Ontario, it's actually, I worked this weekend, the first Fort ever was here, so I do appreciate that, but now it's just a big corporation, and I don't even think it's that good.
Yeah.
The only donuts that I like are my mother's homemade donuts, and I think she really donuts for me because her donuts are made from sweet potato, and they're heavenly.
Oh.
Tim Hortons donuts, they don't really prepare. And I'm not really a big coffee drinker. I eat most of the time to make it at home.
Yeah, I'm more of a tea person.
Once in a while, I'll get a Tim Hortons. If I'm like a drive-through, I average. If it's a nice hot day, I need a little boost, but I'm not really into it. Tim Hortons isn't my favorite, that's for sure. I usually try and go to local shops here in Hamilton or in Toronto. Try and support people's passions if they open a coffee shop and they bake their own goods and stuff like that.
Right, support the small mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else, anything you'd like to promote, anything you got going on that you'd like to let our listeners know about?
Just to check out my website and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And I also post usually fun things and informational posts and things like that. So just follow me on social media.
Yeah, and that webpage is TalliOsborne.com. And on Facebook, she's got a page, she's Nubs. And on Twitter and Instagram, it's Nubs416. And you can follow her on. And I'll be, as soon as I get away from here, I will be following Nubs on Instagram, as well as already following on Twitter. So thank you very much for your time. And
you're welcome.
We look forward to seeing many of your posts on the Face Space there and all the other media.
Yeah, I've got lots of exciting things coming up, so stay tuned.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. You are listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio, and speaking of Nubs, here is NoFX with She's Nubs.
It's kind of hard to wear high heels or slip on banana peels. How does she get in and out of tubs? I hope she don't get mad. I hope she thinks this song is good, not bad. 'Cause we think that she's totally rad, she's nuts. No fingers, no toes, she doesn't own elbows. No front teeth, no knobby knees, do not. She don't need knuckles or hands. She goes see punk rock bands. She's always in the stands, she's nuts. She can't pick up the phone.
What up? You listen to the best of 2015 on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
That was Daly City Train by Rancid. You are listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net, coming at you from the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mattersville. On the phone with us now is a fellow PRFer and the person who runs Blank TV. You run it, right? Like, basically?
No, I don't run it.
Well,
no, I do premieres. Yeah, no, I don't run it.
Okay, well, she's part of Blank TV. This is Donivee Finell. Right?
Hi. Yep,
okay,
that's me. Hello
good.
out there.
So the question then I guess comes is, so what, tell us about Blank TV. What is it that you do? What does Blank TV do for us? And so on.
Blank TV, we are a music video channel. My husband, City, has been running it since bands were submitting videos via VHS, if you can believe that. So I don't know how far back that takes it, but quite a ways back. So it's an online music video channel. So if you're in a band and you have a music video and you want the universe to see it, you can go to blanktv.com. You fill out a form. We put it online. And then, I think we have, he will kill me for not knowing this number right now, but probably a bazillion subscribers. And I think we have over 20,000 videos. Maybe those numbers could be so wrong. But, that's it. We have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/blanktv. And we get videos from all over the world. All over the world. And that's basically what we do.
And I know, just seeing posts on Punk Rock Foodies, and also, we're actual friends on Facebook, so I see your personal posts. But you have bands come to your house or the Blank TV Center.
Yes.
And
Yeah, we call it
perform.
Blank TV headquarters.
Yeah. And they perform, and I guess you feed them.
Yeah, that's the deal. We call it the porch sessions. And we have a few, and if you're a touring band and you're coming through Portland, you can email me at Donivee@Blank TV, and, we'll set something up. But basically, a band in town, they'll stop by. I'll totally, I do a spread. I'll fix a whole bunch of food. We sit out on the porch, drink beer, and and then the band will perform a couple songs. We'll record it, and it will go on the channel. And, we've had some great bands come through here. We've had Kevin Seconds when he's doing his solo stuff. We've had the Swingin' Utters over. We've had the Generators. And then actually just yesterday, the Bricks were here. So that was super fun.
Yesterday, like 2 weeks ago.
Yesterday the Bricks were here.
Well, yesterday 2 weeks ago, because this show isn't going to air for a couple weeks. So.
Yesterday 2 weeks ago, yeah. That's when they were here.
Yeah.
They were here in June. It was nice.
Yeah, we got a bit of a delay on our show. Well, that's pretty rad. Like, what are some of the meals that you cook for some of these bands? Do you have like a go-to, or
the go-to. You know what? There has been no go-to. I always try, because in any group there's always a vegetarian, and I don't like to leave the vegetarians with just sides. And so I try to make something nice for the vegetarians. And depending on the season, like usually in the summer, that's when bands come through. So we'll just open up the grill and, grill. Usually chicken legs, because bands sometimes, like if they have crew with them and merch people, it can be pretty spendy. So, we'll try to keep it to like chicken legs, but I consider myself a bit of a salad master. And, I can make some pretty good salads. And, yeah, it's always so fun. It's one of the highlights of my summer, because that's usually when bands come to Portland. No one wants to come to Portland any other time because of the weather. So summers are usually pretty fun up here.
Yeah. So, you say about the fact that there's usually a vegetarian, and I agree. I usually see that a lot, too. Have you ever done, like, there's a couple dishes I've done where I've done it's actually like a vegan version, but then I've got like the meat and stuff and like cheese that you can add to it, like pasta dishes and shit like that. Like that's something, that's just a tip, I guess, I'm telling you. It's not really a question.
That is a fabulous tip, but I never cook. I have such a small kitchen. My kitchen is like the size of, I don't know, like a closet. It's so small that if I can avoid cooking in it, I usually do it at all costs. So if there's like a group of people, even if it's raining, I'll cook outside. So vegetarians, when they come over here, one of my super favorite go-tos for vegetarians, I don't know, is it a spring roll or a salad roll with that kind of clear, kind of rice wrap?
Yeah. The spring roll, yeah.
What is it called? Yeah.
Spring roll.
That's one of my favorite go-tos for those vegetarians, those pesky vegetarians. But so I do a lot of those. Because I also, it's like fun to make different kinds of sauces, and then, you can kind of do whatever you want with it. But yeah, if I was cooking inside, pasta totally. There's a lot of great, like, Moroccan stews that I've had, like garbanzo beans and those Indian sort of spices that are really fantastic that I've done a couple times. But I don't really cook with recipes, so a lot of times, like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, I'll look at something online, and I'll be like, I like that, but I'm not really going to sit here and follow the recipes, so I'll wing it and do the best I can. And nobody has ever, said this sucks. So I think I do a pretty good job usually.
See, I think that's personally, I feel that that's like the key to, not being a good cook, but being able to cook. Like, I always get pissed off when people are like, "Oh, I don't know, I can't cook, or I don't know how to cook." It's like, well, you're telling me you don't know how to fucking read, basically, because a recipe, follow the fucking recipe. But I think when you can look at ingredients and know that they're going to go good together. Like, I feel that that's, like, one of those things that actually kind of makes you a cook, you know?
Yeah, and I guess because that's how my mom cooks, and I didn't cook anything. I don't think I could boil water alone until, probably my 30s. And so then in my 30s, when I was like, wow, I have a family to feed here, I better figure something out, I would call her up and say, Mom, how do you make chicken soup? And she would say, you throw all this shit in a pot, you turn the water on, go away for a little while, come back, ta-da, and you have chicken soup. So even when I look at recipes, I'm just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna read this list real quick, and I think I can sort the rest out. I think I can figure it out myself.
Yeah. Well, you were saying that you're kind of a salad person.
I'm a salad master. You're right.
Okay. It's like I feel like salads and sandwiches never really need recipes. But
and they never go out of style either.
Right. But you'll see like a sandwich recipe, and it's like, am I too stupid to know to put the shit in between the bread? Or a salad recipe, like the salad.
Put in the mayonnaise.
Yeah. Like the salad itself, you don't need a recipe for it. It's usually like a dressing, maybe that you might need a salad. But do you have a salad recipe to share with us that maybe a PRFer might want to make an attempt at?
A PRFer might be insulted when I tell you this recipe, or not this, when I explain the salad to you, because it's so simple. But you know what? Especially this time of year, in the summer, when the produce is so fucking fantastic.
Yes.
You don't really need anything. So this, and I do this all the time. It's a cucumber salad, and I like to use Persian cucumbers, and I don't know. I get them at the farmer's market. I'm not really sure, if you can go to the supermarket and get them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I've seen them at my
supermarket. Really have any seeds.
I've seen them at my supermarket. Yeah.
So it's the Persian cucumbers and it can be any. I like to use the little bell peppers, so you can just slice them kind of whole. But you could use a whole, like a big size bell pepper if you want. I like to use radishes, sometimes raw peas, any kind of vegetable that's good and raw, but not tomatoes because they're too watery. So chop up your vegetables. It doesn't have to be fine chop. It's actually better. It's kind of a thick cut.
Mm-hmm.
Throw all that in the bowl. Get some sea salt, not the fine sea salt. I like the coarser ground sea salt for this. Chop up a bunch of cilantro, and then squeeze lemon on it. And that's it. And it's fabulous.
You had me until you said cilantro.
Oh, really? You don't like cilantro?
Oh,
How do you do all the, I see your post and you do all this burrito taco.
No cilantro.
How do you do that without cilantro?
Very easily. I taste the food, not the cilantro. We've discussed this to nauseum on this show. When cilantro isn't anything, that's all I taste. It kills. I don't know what it is. My taste buds are that way. It's all I taste. I can't stand it. You need to find one of those maps of the tongue where it says where you taste different flavors, and then you stand upside down of it. Because cilantro is really worth it. I just, and what killed me, I remember watching years ago, and I watched the Food Network, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna add a little spice. We're gonna put some cilantro in this," and I'm thinking, I've had cilantro. It's not spicy. It tastes like a Band-Aid. No, it's like. You know what? Don't say that. Don't fuck up cilantro for me. Please don't. A Band-Aid. Oh, I bet you that's exactly what my husband would think. He hates cilantro too. Okay, does your husband smell stink bugs? You don't have stink bugs in Portland. Yeah, I guess so. That's a weird. You got your ecosystem up there is a little different than where I live, but. No, because I've heard, and we've talked about this before, my mother saw some story that people who can smell stink bugs typically also hate cilantro. And
that is the oddest little bit of like Jeopardy trivia question I've ever heard.
Right? But then we started going through the people that we know. Like my dad can smell the stink bug that's flying in the house, and he despises cilantro more than anything. And my mom doesn't even know what a stink bug smells like, and she doesn't mind cilantro. My girlfriend, same way. She doesn't smell stink bugs, and she doesn't mind cilantro. I smell stink bugs, and I hate cilantro.
I'm not even sure what a stink bug looks like.
Yeah, well, come on out east. Actually, it's been better a couple summers. They used to be everywhere, but.
My husband probably does, because he's from Boston.
Well, there you go. I bet he does. You ask him that. I bet he'll be like, "Oh God, stink bugs." Ugh. And then it'll work.
If he was here right now, if he wasn't going to get beer, if he could hear me, if he could hear our conversation, in addition to hearing me talk right now, you'd hear him yelling. I'm sure of it.
All right.
So now I forget what we were even talking. Oh, the salad. Oh, and I have another cooking tip.
Yeah.
Always add more salt.
I agree.
So whatever you're doing, and you salt it, just put more. Go ahead and go for it. When the Briggs were here yesterday, I made a salsa, and it was...
Yeah. Wait. Yesterday, 2 weeks ago.
When the Briggs were here, I made salsa, and nothing about it was great. I chopped up some onions through the food processor with some cilantro and some jalapeno, a few tomatoes, a squirt of lemon juice, and I think maybe a handful of salt. I'm not sure. But I put it out there, and it was in one of those, like a huge Tupperware, the size of a full-size food processor.
Yeah.
They ate that whole thing, and they're like, this is the best salsa. I'm like, wow. I don't know, just add more salt. That's the only thing I can tell you that makes it different than any other salsa you've ever had your whole life. Is that I am not shy with it. Not shy at all with the salt.
I think salt is great, and as I mentioned earlier in today's show, that one pizza I made with the avocado and the spinach, and when it came out, I added that sea salt, the cracked sea salt on top after it came out of the oven, and that just added so much to it. I agree with you 100%. I'm a salt whore.
Yeah.
Go with it. Yep.
Yeah, always add more salt.
Well, it's
And
like
if you add too much, then get some more and start over. Don't add quite as much.
Gordon Ramsay always says, seasoning.
I know, but that always confuses me. I'm like, add more seasoning. That makes me think, let's just say, go ahead and just say salt. Just say it.
Yeah.
Just less than salt.
He's British. All right, well, hey, Donivee, that's about our time here. Thank you so much. As she said, bands that are touring Portland, make sure you hit up Donivee at blanktv.com. And everybody else, check out blanktv.com for some kick-ass music videos. If you are a band with a music video, go there, and you got to fill out a form. It's really pretty simple. We've done it with Punk Rock Foodies. It's
not hard. It's not hard.
No, I mean, if we can do it, shit.
And all of you, go subscribe and go watch. Go do that for sure. At the very least, go check it out.
Absolutely. You have a song. Is there a song you'd like to hear?
I do have a song I'd like to hear. I would like to hear Off With Their Heads. Fuck This, I'm Out.
Fuck This, I'm Out. Perfect. On Punk Rock Foodies Radio, punkrockradio.net.
Hey, this is Xander T, and you're listening to the best of Punk Rock Foodies Radio 2015.
All right, we're back here on Punk Rock Foodies Radio. I am Brian Reinhardt, and this week's interview is with a lovely lady named Sheena Kelly. Say hi, Sheena.
Hi, Sheena.
She's a smart-ass. Every once in a while, we like to interview people from the page, familiar names that you might see. So decided this week it was going to be Sheena. And I know some of you are saying, hey, that's your fucking girlfriend. That's right, but fuck off. I'm one of the admins, and that's what I get to do. So Welcome to the show, Sheena. Welcome to the Vicious Pig Saloon.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem. I like having you as many times as possible.
Preferably later.
Yes, maybe later tonight. Drink up. So what we like to do is we like to bring people in, cheers, and have them talk about things that they've made, influences they might have. I know you well enough to know that your mom is from the South. And does that influence your cooking at all? Did you learn some things from Mom?
It definitely influences my cooking. My mom makes really, really good, fattening, rich, delicious things.
It's true.
And it's probably a good thing that I don't live with her, because then you'd be really into fat chicks.
Hey, some people are into that thing.
I know. I don't know. That might be your thing. So, I mean, let me know, because I will start packing it in, baby.
All right. Packing it in. Tell me more about this packing it in thing. Anyway, as we continue to flirt on the radio, so give us a couple things. Are there some things that you like to make, some simple things that you could share with everyone that someone can try at home?
Yeah, sure. Well, even though we were talking about influences being from the South and Southern cooking, I think probably a few people have seen me on the page mention our kids' food allergies.
Yes. Little T has one specifically severe food allergy, which would be peanuts.
Yes, the peanuts is awful, but we've since outgrown a few allergies. I think when people think of food allergies, they think, you're going to get a rash, or you're going to, get hives or whatever, but it's not like that. It's really serious and life-threatening. So, it changes the way that you cook. It changes the way that you eat out. And one of the things that I absolutely miss the most with his food allergies is he had a coconut allergy, and I love Thai food. I still can't go to Thai restaurants because of the peanuts, but my favorite thing was the mango sticky rice. And I
have had that when you have made that. And tell the people, because that is really good.
Yes. So our allergist gave us the go-ahead to try out some coconuts, and I was like, what the hell? I might as well do the one fucking thing that I haven't been able to eat in the last 4 years, and that is the coconut mango sticky rice.
All right.
So basically it's really easy. You take 3 cups of sticky rice. If you live near an Asian market, make sure you get sticky rice.
Sticky rice.
Yes. There's also black Thai sticky rice that will do. If you don't live near an Asian market, I would suggest ordering it from Amazon.
Or move to Asia.
Maybe get some more diverse friends with some Asian parents.
You racists.
But, I mean, if you are scraping the bottom of the barrel and you're desperate, you can use instant rice. I would just suggest overcooking it and soaking it in the coconut milk for about an hour to get it nice and soft and mushy.
Okay.
So, you want to steam the rice. If you have a rice steamer, that's awesome. I just boil it because I'm a basic bitch, apparently.
Yeah.
You want to use about 2 cups of canned or fresh coconut milk. When you open it, it is going to look like congealed crap. It's really gross when you first see it. But don't freak out. It hasn't gone bad. You just got to mix it up. You want to warm it on the stove, not boil it, just warm it, with about 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and a teaspoon of salt. Once that has been on medium heat, probably for about 10-15 minutes or so. Again, no boiling. You just want to let it sit to the side.
Just the coconut, or do you put the rice in there?
Nope. This is just the coconut milk, the salt, and the sugar.
Okay.
And it's gonna mix together and make a nice flavor. And while that's sitting, you want to slice up your mangoes. And another thing that I would advise actually is cooking the sticky rice the day before. If you cook the sticky rice the day before, it's a little bit easier to work with.
Let it dry a little bit?
Okay. So you want to add a little bit of your coconut sauce to your rice, and it will stick together nicely. You pour your delicious sweet coconut milk on top of it and slice up your mangoes. Another thing to remember, mangoes, make sure you wash your mangoes. That is not code for something else, but you want to make sure you wash your mangoes.
But even if we are talking in code, it's a good idea to wash those mangoes.
Yes. Some people don't realize that mangoes have an enzyme on the skin that is very similar to poison ivy.
Oh.
And there are a lot of people, including myself, that are sensitive to that. And if you decide to eat directly off of the skin, or
so get the skin off of there.
Get the skin off. Don't even try to eat the inside of it with the skin on it, because you will wake up with swollen red lips, looking like you just made out with.
That's horrible.
All of the New England.
I didn't know that. So mango skin is essentially poison.
Mango skin, it does. It's very, very similar to poison ivy.
So you got your rice, you got your coconut milk.
Yes.
And do you ball up the rice?
You ball up the rice, make a nice little ball out of it.
Okay.
And again, pour the sauce on it and garnish it with the mangoes, and you are good to go.
So it's like a dessert. It sounds really good. And I have had it, but for the people who are listening, it's a dessert. Correct?
It is a dessert.
It's healthy.
It's healthy.
Which is not something we normally cover on this show or on this page, but there is room for healthy.
I mean, it's a lot of calories, but it's from coconut milk, which is good fat. The mango obviously is fruit, and rice is I don't think I have to explain rice. And you can always garnish it with basil or fresh mint, which I like to get out of my garden. Isn't that right, Xander?
Got a garden, y'all.
My garden, because I know how much he loves to hear about my garden and my compost.
# garden.
Garden.
I do love compost.
I like that. That sounds good. Anything else that you like to something simple that you like to make for the kids?
Actually, one of my favorite things to make, and this is relevant because I don't normally sound like this. I'm a little nasally because I'm recovering from yet another cold. This is what happens when you have kids in preschool. They're just little disease vectors.
Yes.
Every time you turn around, there's some little nasty thing that's going through the household. So a few years ago, I was at a really incredible restaurant in Southern California called the Stango. And actually, through conversation, I discovered your mom has been there because she's from Southern California.
We would ask if Steve Guerrero's been there, but I don't think he only golfs and eats bacon. That's all he does.
Yes, he's a demon also.
Yeah.
We covered that. But this restaurant, the Stango, is phenomenal. And they have a garlic soup. And when I first saw it on the menu, I was like, hell no, I'm not eating garlic soup. That just sounds gross. Absolutely disgusting. But the people I was with, I was like, yeah, you got to try it. It's delicious, blah, blah, blah. So ordered the garlic soup, and it was so good. I couldn't stop talking about it. So much so that our server actually went and got the chef from the back, and he brought me out a copy of the recipe.
Wow.
Yes, which is phenomenal. And one of the things that I've discovered about the garlic soup is it is excellent for when you are sick. Because despite what people may see, it's a cream-based soup. You don't really have to worry about milk-based products and colds. That's an old wives' tale. But it is full of garlic, which is a natural antibiotic, and it will speed up the healing process.
All right. So, how do we prepare this?
Leave it to your girlfriend to nerd out on this shit.
Yeah. Start dating.
Okay, so you want to take 2 cups of garlic. You want to peel the garlic and blanch it. If you don't know what blanching is, it's real simple ass way to say pour some cold water over it and boil it so that it softens up and is not as strong of a garlic taste. So has all of the benefits of it without killing all the vampires within 100.
Turns it down a little bit.
Yeah, it turns it down a little bit. So you want to just bring that to a simmer for about 5 minutes. You want to drain the garlic into a pan. And then you want to take a large potato, red potato or baked potato, either one is good. I kind of like the red potatoes, even though the original recipe calls for a baked potato. So 1 large potato, you want to peel that up, cut it, and then boil that with chicken stock, unless you're a vegetarian, which you would want to use veggie stock. You lightly season it with salt and pepper. One of the things I really like to use is white pepper. It changes the flavor immensely, and it maintains the color consistency without changing with,
Because when I've had it, it's essentially it looks like a white cream, like I don't know, I can't really explain it, but it looks like milk almost.
It does.
But it doesn't taste like it at all.
Right.
Obviously.
Right. And you don't want to mix the black and the white because we know how that turns out.
Nope.
No.
Every time, even in relationships.
Right. So you add the potato, the chicken stock, you season it, you want to bring it to a boil, lower the heat, and then just cook it until, potatoes get kind of soft. So 15, 20 minutes, unless you're in a rush, and then you just, burn down your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to pour in 3/4 to a cup of heavy cream. Heavy cream, not half and half. Go with the heavy cream. Don't worry about calories because this stuff is so fucking good. It's amazing.
You're making it because you're sick. You don't worry about it. You just want to get better.
Yeah, and it's good comfort food with all the cream.
Yeah.
So then you pour the whole thing into the blender. You blend it up. Scrape that last little bit from the saucepan into the blender because, to me that's the delicious part. Mm-hmm. And garnish it with whipped cream, like regular old, what's that stuff, whipped cream?
Ready Whip.
Ready Whip's fine, or I was going to say Miracle Whip, but please don't put Miracle Whip.
I guess you could try it.
That would be nasty.
Yeah.
But actually sweet whipped cream on top for the garnish, and then some chives and a little bit of additional garlic if you have it left over. And you are done. And I happen to have chives in my garden.
In the garden?
Xander.
Hashtag garden.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I will say that I when we first started dating, she made some garlic soup for me one time, and it was absolutely amazing. Very, very good. It's not at all if you've never had it before, it's not at all what you're thinking. It's not overpowering. It's sweet and really good, and
it's got that really good mix of sweet and savory.
And if you got a rough stomach, it's something that you can keep down.
Yeah.
So, and that helps when you're trying to get nutrients and you're nothing but sick.
Although, if your illness is like food poisoning or something, digestive related, the garlic soup might not be the best idea.
Well, you can't even drink water at that point. 'Cause
Yeah.
believe me, I'm a guy who's had some food poisoning.
But when it comes back, it's just not going to be, going to be pleasant to burn.
But it is delicious.
Yes.
So if you're listening, if you want to try those out, you can always message Sheena. She is on our page. She is a member. So message her and she can help you out. She has posted these before. I think you posted the sticky rice once before. We'll do it again.
I did.
If you got any questions, send her a message. They're both very good and very easy to make. So that's it. Sheena, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Anytime.
She might poke her head every once in a while in the vicious pig. But anyway, we're going to go tend the garden, and that is not a double entendre.
No, it is.
It is a double entendre. All right, Sheena, say goodbye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for having me.
This is Skate Rap Betty, and you're listening to the best of 2015 on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
And that was Greenwood by Banner Pilot. On the phone with me now is Punk Rock Foodie member and a friend of mine, Rob Ahrens. Rob, how you doing?
Good. How's it going? How you doing, Xander?
It's going well. I'm good. I know Rob from back in college. We were roommates, and I do air quotes around roommates because I just basically lived in their dorm room.
You just crashed on our couch. That's pretty much it.
Well, we all bought the couch together.
That's true.
But I also taught Rob how to play guitar.
That's right.
And he's left-handed when he plays guitar. And
left-handed. You flipped your right-handed guitar for me.
That's it. Yep. And you're also left-handed when you throw a baseball and masturbate, right?
That covers everything.
Yes. Okay. For everything else,
I write with my right hand, but everything else is left.
Okay. So, Rob, tell us what is it that you that you do. I know you live in the Pittsburgh area.
I live in the Pittsburgh area. I work I'm a supervisor working at a call center, but I get to work from home, so I really just sit at home all day.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
And you cook meals, and
Cook meals.
some of you may have seen some of Rob's meals. Recently, he took a camping trip and posted some pretty kick-ass looking camping food. How was that?
Camping food, that's some of the best stuff to cook. You just start that fire, throw whatever you can on the old grill that's sitting on top of the campfire, and just let the meat cook.
Now, do you? We've talked in the past about camping food. Do you prepare stuff beforehand and put it in like foil packets and stuff like that, or are you pretty much when you go camping, do you just like right there do all the prep work and throw it on, or?
A lot of times it's just one of those prep right there, throw it on the grill, just do some different meats, sausages, hamburgers, broths, whatever. But there are times, we're going to do some chicken, like do a quick marinade, either with some soy sauce or just, get some marinade going. I prefer like dry rubs. I prefer the more Cajun style, things like that.
And you don't always just cook when you camp. You also cook at your house as well, correct?
Yes, yeah, I do occasionally cook at the house as well. I only eat camping. Otherwise,
you live in a tent constantly, just for survival.
That's right.
Yeah. So we were talking on this episode about tailgating, and you just mentioned like pretty much all the foods that you see at a tailgate, while sitting there on a grill. I know you're a huge Penguins fan. Hockey season starts real soon. You ever do any major tailgating for a hockey game? I mean, it's kind of difficult come like February and March in the Pittsburgh area, but
yeah, definitely. No, not too much tailgating for hockey, but we have baseball and football tailgating. I'm hoping. I still have yet to go to my first Steelers game. I'm hoping that happens this year. Catch some of the tailgating that occurs there.
Yeah, we were discussing that. My dad's had tickets forever, and it's like it doesn't even matter what team you're rooting for. Almost, it's like another family. Just everybody wants to have a good time and drink and eat and watch the football.
Exactly.
What about any tailgating you've done for at concerts? I know that you recently went to see the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. With concerts, really, not too much tailgating for me. But, I'm getting old. Pushing 40, so, for me, if I've just made it through the concert without falling asleep or passing out, then I'm happy.
And you're older than me, so let's just remember that.
That's true.
How was the Foo Fighters show?
It was a good show, man. They just ripped through their set, not too much. Dave had his throne out, and they just ripped through all their songs. Love when they play the old stuff.
Absolutely.
Off the first album, so it's great to hear them play. They still kick ass up.
Yeah, Rob and I actually met in college because we both had a strong passion for the band Nirvana, and it grew from there. So I did mention that I taught you how to play guitar, and I know that you've played in a few little bands. I had some gigs.
Yeah. I played in a little band back when I was in Northeast Pennsylvania. One of our key moments was that we got to play in Pontiac Grill in Philadelphia, which now I don't even think exists. But at the time, it was cool because you could see all the bands carve their names on the wall, and Nirvana was even there at one point, and they had their names carved into the wall there backstage, so that was pretty awesome.
That is cool. And so that didn't, obviously that was in Northeast Pennsylvania, and now you live in Southwest Pennsylvania, so clearly...
Now I'm Southwest. Just playing guitar by myself.
Nothing wrong with playing with yourself.
Keeping it safe.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have any like go-to recipes that you like to make?
Well, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky man. My lady likes to try all the food that I cook, and so we try to cook a bunch of different things. And most recently, you know, we've just cooked some basics. We did some Mongolian beef recently, things like that. But one of my go-tos, this is the time of year, and my go-tos are like stews and soups. And I just love to cook different types of beef stew. There's an old like Cuban recipe that I like to cook. It's just like I think it's translated to old clothes is what it's called. Ropa vieja, I believe, is what the dish is called itself. I love the English translation. I get to use one of my favorite kitchen tools is the pressure cooker, and I just throw a flank steak in there or a roast, rather than 8 hours in a slow cooker, 45 minutes in that thing, and the meat just shreds.
I've never used a pressure cooker.
Never.
Never.
You've got to try it, man. Just for the fact that it saves on time rather than slow cooking. Especially if you're just going to cook some meat where you want to shred it, you're saving yourself hours.
I knew a place in Oakland, down near Pitt's campus, that would do their wings in a pressure cooker. They'd do them in a pressure cooker, then they'd flash fry them real quick, so they'd be crispy on the outside and they'd just fall apart off the bone.
Oh,
that's
a good idea. I've heard ribs too. I haven't tried that yet, but
I'm gonna have to get my mom's pressure cooker out next time I'm up there.
yeah, exactly. You have to try it out.
I'm gonna have to get my mom's pressure cooker out next time I'm up there, and I'm gonna have your ass over because I've only been up to Pittsburgh how many times since you've lived up there and never contacted you at all.
I know, exactly. And I was hoping that we would be able to catch a show or something.
Yeah, you know,
I missed Social D, and that was disappointing, but plenty of shows come around.
Yeah, absolutely. But now I'm more available to go to Pittsburgh for shows in the summertime. So we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, definitely.
But, do you have any recipe for us? Of anything?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll give you that. What I like to do for that old clothes recipe.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. We got the fall coming in the east, so it's a real simple recipe too. It's something, like I said, if you don't have a pressure cooker, it's a slow cooker thing. But for me, once I get that meat cooked in the pressure cooker, just enough water in there, salt, pepper. The big key to this dish is cumin. Love cooking with cumin. Put some cumin in there, some red pepper, spice it up a little bit. Once you get that going, it's just a matter of doing some julienne on onions, red, green pepper, garlic. Saute that down. Throw a little red wine or cooking wine in there. Glaze that off, and I like to then put a couple cans of whole tomatoes in there. Simmer that down for about 30 minutes. At that time, the meat's cool enough so you can shred it. Just throw it all together. Add some more cumin. Add some more red pepper. Some more spices. Salt, pepper to taste. Throw it over some white rice. You got yourself some old clothes.
Sounds perfect. That sounds that sounds so good, especially adding that red pepper. It'll warm you up just because it's a warm dish, but then also that spice will help. That's gonna be good come fall when it starts getting colder.
Yeah, that's a good fall dish.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rob, thanks for the recipe. Thanks for chatting with us a little bit here. You can see some of Rob's dishes on Punk Rock Foodies page. Is there a song you'd like to hear, Rob?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw it to a little Pittsburgh flair there with some Anti-Flag. Maybe do a little Captain Anarchy, throw it back to the 90s a little bit.
Excellent. Captain Anarchy by Anti-Flag on Punk Rock Foodies Radio, punkrockradio.net.
Hey, this is Brian Reinhart, and you're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio Best of 2015, and we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
All right, and we are back on Punk Rock Foodies Radio, punkrockradio.net. Here with us on the phone now is one of the Punk Rock Foodies, one of our admins of Punk Rock Foodies. This is Sharock Slavan, and she was at the Fat Wreck for 25 years shows at the Parkside San Francisco, California, and we are interested in how that entire event went. Start us off, day one, was that Friday? There was a showing of NoFX's Backstage Passport, and tell us about the day.
The little blip that they showed from Backstage Passport was when they went to Peru and mainly Fat Mike's drug use.
Nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then there was a special guest, and it was the Dickies, which was cool and not cool all at once. And we ended up leaving. Because it was hot. It was hot inside the Parkside. The Parkside is not meant for a bunch of people.
Really?
No, it's very small, and circulation is bad.
Okay, well then that would explain the two stages, the outdoor and indoor stage for the Saturday and Sunday events. How was that?
That was great. The outside stage was fantastic because it was right in the shade, and even though San Francisco is often cool, it was awfully warm on those 2 days. The outside, like I said, the outside stage was really great. The inside stage was difficult to get to. I actually didn't end up seeing any of the inside stage shows during Saturday and Sunday just because it was difficult to get to. So everything that I loved about the festival, I also hated because as much as it was very punk, it was very difficult.
Yeah. I was interested in just the fact that like some of the bands they had playing inside and the times that they were going on and, you know, up against bands that were playing outside, and there were so many. I was looking at the schedule and I was conflicted. I was like, well, would I want to go inside and miss them or stay outside and miss him, or, you know, but I guess in your case you missed everybody inside, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, and there was some of that. There was a little, like, I wanted to go inside for some stuff, but I wanted to see the outdoor stuff, so it was a decision-making time, as with any festival that has multiple stages, is what do you do? Who do you want to go see more?
Right.
But the decision was made for me, because it was too difficult to get inside. Wanted to see Chris Cresswell, never got to do it. It was just too hard to get inside at that time. And then Strung Out was also playing at the same time, and so Strung Out won, which was amazing. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Swinging Utters were great. Bracket was really awesome. Western Addiction was really great. Miss Toy Guitar, standing in line. That was a bummer.
Yeah, that is.
And that was a bummer. It was all that was all day one. On day two, day one, back day one. Thick of It All killed it. So they played an amazing set.
That's what I heard. I had seen a lot of posts from people that were there that just said that Sick of It All stole the show, basically.
Oh yeah, they stole the show. I mean, the pit was amazing. It was just, my friend walked out with a bloody lip. It was fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you should have good pit. You should bleed, right?
Right.
Day two, You Cunt, couldn't miss it. Was great. Once again, missed all the inside shows.
You got to see UConn.
You got to see UConn, yep.
Good, because they're great.
Yeah, we made it in time for that one. We stood outside the first couple songs, but that's okay. Masked Intruder was great. The Flatliners, of course, were awesome. Dead to Me, Tilt. So I really wanted to see Tilt because That goes back to when I was in high school.
Yeah, that's old school.
Oh, yeah. So Cinder was awesome. Good Riddance was great. No Use in Friends was, there was people crying.
Yeah, tell me about that. Like, that was, I saw a few videos of, like, El Jefe singing International U Day, and just, like, how did that all work?
So they would play, and you would have different guest singers come up, and every experience was amazing. So either it was whoever was singing near tears, or people in the audience in tears. Tony's wife was there, and the girls. That was really cool to see the girls up there.
That's awesome.
You know, getting to honor their dad, and so I mean that just brought on more tears. And then after No Use of Friends, with Lagwagon and NoFX.
Oh.
Not gonna lie, we skipped out at the beginning of Lagwagon and left to make it over to Oakland for a secret show.
And this secret show in Oakland
Was Dead to Me. And so during the festival, Dead to Me played as a 5-piece. Jack was there. And then Jack had to, go back to LA, so it was just a 4-piece when they played in Oakland. The Oakland venue was upstairs. It was a very small room, and it was packed, so there was probably maybe about 100 people in there, and the whole floor felt like it was going to fall out.
Jeez.
Because everybody just slamming around and singing along and getting crazy, and it was amazing.
So it was worth missing Lagwagon and a second NoFX show.
Absolutely. In my opinion, yes.
Okay. Even though you had to be in Oakland.
Yeah, even though I had to drive across the bridge, it was probably about a 40 minute drive across the bridge. So that means I had to stay sober all day Sunday.
Oh.
And then I was sober driver back into San Francisco after the show.
That's a bummer.
And it was worth it. It was, for me, it was worth it. For the other 6 people in my car that were drunk, it was worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
7. I think I fit 7 in my car. It was a tight fit.
Yeah. So was
it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was a great 2 days. It kind of was like that wonderful feeling you get the first time you go to punk rock bowling.
Yeah.
And you get to run into people that you only see maybe once or twice a year.
Right, just like how Steve just told us the story about meeting Colin Murray at Warped Tour 2 times.
Yeah. For me, it was great because I saw a lot of kids that because I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, I got to see a lot of punks that I grew up with.
Yeah.
So it was like a homecoming.
That's cool.
For me.
A homecoming with some rad shows, some rad bands playing.
Absolutely. It was like being 17 all over again.
Was there anything like stand out or was like special or different or interesting because it was their 25th anniversary, or was it basically just your basic punk shows?
No, I mean, it was really cool just because, the standout thing for me was on the little card that you get with the lineup and the big show poster, Fat Records was spelled wrong.
Nice. What, was it spelled correctly? But
it was spelled correctly.
Gotcha. Awesome.
But it actually says Fat Records, spelled correctly, 25th anniversary.
Nice.
That shit is getting framed and put up in my house.
Oh yeah, that's like whenever they translate, something into a different language and then retranslate it back to English, and it's like not quite right, like movie titles and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was great, and it took us a while to realize too. And we're looking at it, and I'm like, that looks weird. Oh, never mind. Now I get it. Because day 1, the posters were on sale for $25. Day 2, they went down to $10.
Oh man.
In a minute, yeah, it was great. I was like, yeah, definitely need one of those now.
That's hilarious. They'll probably have them on their webpage for $1. soon.
Oh, yeah, I know, probably. Probably. It was really cool to get some Tilt merch, because I haven't had a Tilt shirt forever, and it's probably the last pressing they'll ever do of Tilt merch ever. Overall, it was a really great show. It was tons of fun. It sucks they ran out of water, but that's okay. Beer is a good replacement. Yeah, it was good, yeah, and they had the Fat Wreck brews out there, so...
Oh yeah, did you try the Stick It In My IPA?
Yeah, I had the IPA. I also had the lager.
What's the lager?
Fat Wrecked.
Just okay. And they were good?
I liked the lager better than the IPA. That was tasty. They ran out of the lager, so the next day they did the scrimshaw pilsner. But no, the lager I had plenty. By plenty, I mean a lot.
Yeah, I got that. But only on Saturday because you couldn't on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
So I sent you out there, or I didn't send you out there. I sent out to you a bunch of merchandise. Were there a lot of people? A lot of punk rock foodies or other people interested in what you had to offer, or did you have a whole bunch of merch?
Because on Saturday I wore a hat.
Yeah.
I wore the punk rock foodie hat, so I got a lot of questions on what is that and how do I get that.
Nice.
And so they got gifts for asking me how do I get that. So we did that, and then having a conversation with someone, and I'm going to totally embarrass her on this one, having a conversation with somebody when she realized I had a punk rock foodie hat on, Nicole, and her husband Jason, and they realized who I was. They were very intoxicated. And then Nicole, oh, that's Shannon from Fresno. You want to make out? So Nicole got some stuff for being so adorable in her want to make out questions. So that was day one, and then Steven found me at the Dead to Me secret show.
Oh, nice.
So he got some stuff too. And some towels were thrown up on stage, and hopefully they found a new home with some band members.
That would be cool. That'd be awesome.
There's a few people that were looking for me, but I think everybody was just so intoxicated they couldn't find me. That's what I'm saying, because the area was not very big. It was maybe a half a block area for the stage and everything.
So they should have found you. They just weren't looking hard enough.
They weren't looking hard enough. Either that or I was moving around way too fast, which I find hard to believe.
All right, well, it sounds like you had an awesome time, and I really was so jealous seeing your pictures on Facebook and knowing that you were there and seeing other people's pictures because I really wanted to go. But just wasn't in the cards for me this summer. Next time they have a 25th anniversary, though, I'm there. Totally.
Their 50th anniversary, are you totally going to be there?
Oh, no, their next 25th one. That's it.
Their next 25th, they're just going to turn 25 forever?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I can't wait until they turn 50. It should be really rad then.
There's going to be a lot of walkers on that stage.
There were actually quite a few. I saw a very older lady that I aspire to be someday. She was totally having a good time, too.
Good. Nothing wrong with that.
There were some canes in the crowd and everything else.
All right, well, thank you very much for letting us in on the good time that we all miss. Well, most of us miss. But we are going to go off now with a song from Tilt. We'll go with Libel on Punk Rock Foodies Radio, punkrockradio.net.
Hello, hi, and how are you? This is Steve Guerrero, and you're listening to the best of 2015 here on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
Never let you go.
back on Punk Rock Foodies Radio, coming at you from the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mattersville. On the phone with me now is the one, the only, Feed the Scenes, Rachel Taft. Rachel, how are you?
I'm wonderful today. How are you?
I'm great.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, you're always welcome here. We're two dreamers in the same dream, you know, like.
You didn't realize they lived in the same state.
We do, yeah. Yes, for those of you who don't, Rachel is from Baltimore, Maryland, and I also live in Maryland, so we're probably 30 minutes from each other, 40 minutes maybe with traffic, I don't know. Yes, we're all fired up today on this episode, so we're glad to have you. For people that don't know, can you please explain what Feed the Scene is?
Sure. Feed the Scene it's not completely a new concept, but it's sort of more on purpose than it's ever been done before. We feed and house tour musicians as they come through Baltimore. We feed them when the budget allows, because we're not always rolling in dough. But we generally always have beds. We take in pretty much anyone in any genre that comes through who needs a place to stay. It's a better alternative than sleeping in your van and everyone together, and when it's really hot or really cold. We have a room full of bunk beds. We did a Kickstarter 3 years ago. So up to 8 people get their own beds. After that, we get air mattresses. I mean, we've hit 21 people in the house before, so we can house a lot of people. And we've just started branching out a little bit. I have a couple more now in a couple different cities. They're not completely as up and functional as the one I'm running is, just because I've been doing it for longer, but we're working on getting more and more different cities.
Right, and we have interviewed Savvi Nichole, who does Feed the Scene Denver, out in obviously Denver. But we'll come back to that conversation in a minute. I would like to ask, how did you get started? How did you come up with this? I mean, like you said, it's not a new idea. People have been doing this for years. I mean, I used to get the Book Your Own Fucking Life magazine, and, it's nothing new. But how did you go about taking this step?
Well, it's a happy and sad story at the same time. It all came about really entirely by accident in a 30-minute set of spin. My mom passed away 6 years ago, which we were not really prepared for. She passed away in about 30 seconds. And I really wasn't ready for it at all. It hit me really hard. And a lot of days, a lot of people had just written a lot of songs that made everything okay, at least for a couple of minutes. Sometimes they're just 4 words in a row that made shit make sense for a little bit. And after, everything got settled and I was doing a little better, she had left me a little bit of money, and I realized that I wanted to do something positive for the scene that had always given me a place to be and kept me safe and sane. I've been going to local shows since I was 15 years old. We used to go to the VFW and 5 bands for $5 forever and a half ago. But I just really felt strongly about it. And at first, it wasn't a complete idea. Originally, it was going to be a food truck. We were going to try to. I had a business partner at this time initially. He was the food guy, and I was the person who had the ideas and the place to put all the bands. But we were going to basically, we were going to run a food truck that would, feed all the bands playing for free if we could feed all the venues customers for money. But that didn't work out because food trucks are expensive.
Yeah.
And very hard to make work in Baltimore. And the person I was partnered with did not know quite as much as they thought they did, and I didn't know anything about that part of the business, so that part ended up not happening. And we just sort of turned into a business that housed people instead of specifically being a food business originally. But honestly, a lot of it was weirdly because I ended up becoming friends with a couple of people, Wes and Jake. We would hang out with them when they'd come through on their tour bus. And I ended up meeting their stage manager, who came through with his band, Protagonist, and he came through with his friend's band, Go Right Down, which is now Teenagers, and also with Hold Tight from Richmond and This Is Your Life from Richmond. And I had known the drummer from This Is Your Life at the time already. I was like, holy crap, you guys are going to be in the same place at the same time. Both of you, I should really come to the show. So I brought everyone dessert, and then John Lewis from the Dopamines was the merch guy on that Les and Jake tour.
and I had met him previously, and then they were one of the first bands that ever came and had dinner at my house. So, you know, we called, I sent them an email, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to come for dinner? And they were like, you're inviting us to your house on purpose? They were really confused. But, you know, we made it work. And, you know, so because those people had come to my house, and, you know, some of that, they told their friends, and their friends told their friends, and, you know, in the beginning it was pretty much all recommendations from other people who had already stayed here, because no one really wanted to be the one that said someone terrible here and ruined it for everyone and made me want to stop doing it.
Right.
But, you know, but for most of the first year, we didn't really house anybody. I had a roommate who was big on personal space and privacy and not very big on people she didn't know in the house overnight. So that's originally why it was called Feed the Scene, was because we didn't house anybody. It was just food. You know, we would invite people over for dinner, and it would just be like a dinner party, and we'd all just have a good time, and then we'd go to the show. Or someone would come over after the show, and we'd have dinner, and then they'd go find somewhere else to eat. It was very loose in the beginning. We didn't really have a whole lot of idea what was going on. But so as this was happening, basically, you know, I was hearing all these crazy horror stories of places people had stayed and places people had had to stay with and places where they could find no person to stay with, and, you know, 10-degree temperatures overnight or 100-degree temperatures overnight, and like 8 people in a van. And I started to really realize this was actually needed. You know, that people needed a place that was certifiably safe to stay.
Right.
It's not a crapshoot. You're not getting on stage at the end of the night going, oh my God, who wants to take us in? Please don't be a murderer.
Right.
It's like, you know, you can come here, you can check out the Feed the Scene Facebook page. We have somewhere like 5,600 likes. I have housed somewhere over 600 bands from 22 countries in 4 years. Odds are you probably, if you're touring, know someone who stayed here. Unless you're super new or super not new and you don't talk to any newbies. But, you know, because for most of the bands that we house, they're smaller because they're really the ones that need it. We have bands from all different genres. I have friends in many different music scenes. And so it sort of spread from there. Like, you know, people were like, oh, I want to go stay in a place that has beds for me to sleep in. Why not?
Right, yeah, absolutely.
But when we first started, actually after I first started housing people, I just had a room in my house that was just a giant room full of air mattresses all over the floor, so it was like a giant bouncy house. And it was cool, but unfortunately, it was not the best use of space because, you know, people had to share air mattresses, and in the dark, you couldn't see where the paths between them were, and you had to wake people up or stepping on them and popping them. So that's when I thought, I was like, bunk beds would be so much better. And the ceilings in my house were high enough that it made sense. So we did a Kickstarter, which I still owe the rewards for. We ran out of money promptly after that.
You don't have to announce it.
I know, I'm announcing it because I will be getting the rewards out this year by the end of the year because I can afford to now. So all of you people who donated, thank you, and I did not forget that your T-shirts and your cupcakes are coming. But either way. So,
but the cupcakes are really old, so, you know.
No, I won't take them yet. They are not old. They are not old. But so basically, we did a Kickstarter, and we raised $6,000 in a month.
Nice.
Which covered 4 sets of bunk beds, so 8 beds, 8 mattresses, pillows, bed bug covers for the mattresses and pillows, waterproof covers, sheet sets, comforters, and all that stuff. So the room is fully equipped. So when you get there, like, you know, most people bring a sleeping bag, but not everyone remembers. Some people are new to touring, and they don't know that they're supposed to bring something. Or they left it somewhere else and, you know, don't have anything with them anymore.
Right.
But the nice thing was when we first did the Kickstarter, it was really only maybe a year, like a little over a year after we had started. So, I mean, we were pretty small still. I think we had maybe just gotten 1,000 likes, so like we were, you know, barely known by people at the time. And I was amazed that we managed to, because we were only originally aiming for $5,000, because I, you know, loosely done the math on what I needed for the room. And we ended up going over by $1,000, and most of the people that donated were band members and band members' parents. We had some people who were fans of the idea and fans of the bands that had stayed here. But it was a lot of parents and a lot of band members, which is cool, because I mean,
for a $20 donation, you have a guaranteed bed in Baltimore forever.
Exactly.
You know, until my house falls down.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the cheapest and best investment.
Yeah, it's sort of like paying dues into the bed club.
Right.
It's like a bunk bed timeshare, maybe.
There you go. Without the
You
video.
only get it once or twice a year, but you have to reserve early.
Yeah, that's great. So then how did Savvi get involved in her Denver scene?
Can I tell you the funny story ever? She and I still have not met.
It makes perfect sense. I just met you recently, so.
Well, so she messaged me one day on Facebook. Had to be like a really long time ago when she first messaged me. Because I was in the middle of a bunch of stuff and I lost the email. It ended up under a pile of stuff. And then I finally spent like a week going through every email I had and all of my email accounts, my Facebook and all my personal emails. And I found it. And I was like, oh, cool, this girl's interested in doing what I want to do. So I messaged her back and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about branching out at some point, but haven't really figured out how that works yet. Because you can't really franchise it because it doesn't make any money. It just costs you money. So it's like you don't pay me to spend your own money. It doesn't work at all. So it's sort of like, you know, you just have to give someone permission to use the idea. Because basically, I was trying to figure out the correct way to go about it. She was sort of like, well, I'm either going to do it under your name or I'm going to do it anyway. And I was like, well, let's do it under my name then. That sounds great. So it's actually good because she sort of forced me to address that I needed to get moving on that part of it.
Right.
So it was sort of the swift kick in the butt I needed to make that happen. And it's been really successful. People have been really happy with the quality of food and things that she's been serving out on her side. And at some point I'll make it out there or we'll end up in the same space. I think we might be in the same space for sex. I'm not sure. But either way, like, it was even a worry for me because she came highly recommended from many people I had already known, so I was not worried about it.
Yeah.
And every conversation we had has been super nice, so I wasn't really worried.
Yeah, she's a really rad girl, and we love having her on the page, and you know, we love the whole idea of Feed the Scene. I mean, so, like I said, we're like, you know, two branches on the same tree here. Food and punk rock. You know, I mean, how do you go wrong there? Who are some of the bands that you've housed over the years, or even just fed?
Well, okay, most of the bigger bands that I have interacted with have just been feeding. So, you know, most of them have, you know, tour vehicles, and they don't really need to stay at my house. But like, I've brought dessert to the Boss Tones. I've brought dessert to the Dropkick Murphys. I've fed Less Than Jake a bunch of times. They're awesome. I have fed Think of It All. I've housed Big D at the kids' table. I believe I made dessert for Real Big Fish, I think. I'm not sure right now. I have a list somewhere. Because the other thing is, it all depends on what kind of music you like. It depends on who think is a big band.
That's true.
Like, I'm feeding the Jenna Torturers tomorrow. If you like industrial, you'd be pretty stoked. If you don't at all, you wouldn't think of that.
I have no idea who they are.
They're pretty amazing. You should check them out. But, I mean, I've probably fed more smaller bands. I guess mid-size. Like, I've fed Little House of Steam a couple times. They're super awesome. Like, Direct Kid, I fed Dopamine. I said Survey Says. I have a list somewhere. I literally have a list of everyone who stayed, and I'm constantly updating it. I'm a little bit behind right now.
So, okay, so it's Feed the Scene, it's House the Scene. Is it Shower the Scene, too?
Oh, yes. I have 47,000 towels. My water bill is stupid.
I mean,
basically, you leave a towel here, it goes into the collective of towels for everyone.
Every time I've ever talked to any band members and set up a situation like that, the one thing I always mention is, and there's a hot shower. And they're like, so stoked on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at some point, hopefully, I'll be able to by my house, and then I'm going to put in a tank with water heater, because sometimes when we get like 21 people in here, it's, you know, really hard to keep hot water by the end of the shower, and we have to like split up for a little while. It's like everyone take a break for an hour and then come back.
Yep, I mean that happens in a house with 6 people, so 21, I can't imagine.
There's a lot of people. We're pretty good at packing them in, though.
So how does somebody? So if a band is coming through the Baltimore area, how do they contact you, or do you only do the contact?
Well, some of both. In the beginning, I did most of the contacting because no one knew I existed.
Right.
So I was sort of like, I would just peruse the show listings and see who looked interesting and see, or, you know, who I thought needed a place to stay, or, you know, sometimes I use my powers for evil, and I'm like, hey, you're opening up to a band. I really like, do you need housing? You know, there's got to be some person to come with 7 hours of laundry a day. Most of the time people contact me through our Facebook page or through email. We do take in emergency adoption requests, so if you find yourself in Baltimore and don't realize you have no place to stay, they're basically, you go to the info page on the PCC Facebook page, it tells you the correct way to get in touch with us for the situation you're looking for. Because we do book some shows, but I don't book a lot of shows, so, you know, I'm not doing more than like 2 or 3, maybe at the most, shows a month anymore, because I had a lovely booking partner, Caitlin, at one point, and she ended up moving to Ohio, started her new college life, and moving with, I think she's living near her wonderful boyfriend that she has to now. But, so now that I'm back to booking by myself, it's more of a slow-going process to deal with all the other things as well. But basically, email and the Facebook page is the best way to get a hold of me.
All right, so any bands that are listening, if you are ever driving through the Baltimore area, have a show in Baltimore, and you would like to get fed, have a place to sleep, take a shower, just to crash and relax for a little bit away from the sitting in a van, go to the Facebook, go to Feed the Scene, check it out, contact Rachel.
Basically, as early as possible, like sometimes even when you get your tour dates if you're thinking of stopping through, because we book out 6 months in advance. We do try to take in everyone, but it's easier for me if I have you on the calendar already, because that way I can plan my week instead of, you know, I mean, we do take surprise guests if we have space, but we'd rather know you're coming ahead of time just because it's, you know, we can have the sheets cleaned and the beds made, not have to scramble at the end of the night or have you sleep on dirty beds because we didn't know you were coming. Also, to make sure we're home. Because, you know, if you have 2 possible days of coming through and one of them I'm not home, it would make sense to try to put Baltimore the other day if possible.
Right. So, yeah, so think about that when you're going to be touring through the Baltimore area, touring through the Denver area. Are there any other Feed the Scenes that have popped up that I'm not aware of?
We have one in Greensboro, North Carolina.
That's good.
At the Tuba House. And I have one in the Bacolod City, Philippines, that my friend Jen runs. So if you're in the Philippines and you're playing music there, we can get you a place to stay, and he'll make you all a Filipino meal. I've heard they're delicious.
Excellent. Yes.
Because, you know, why start small? I figured if I started on the exact other side of the globe, I could conquer it fast.
There you go, right. Take it from different angles, you know?
Yeah, you know.
So do you have you got a quick recipe that you can give us for our listeners?
One thing that I make a lot because it's quick and it can also be vegan if need be. One of the side dishes is a spicy citrus asparagus. I basically just cover a baking sheet with tin foil and 1 or 2 bunches of asparagus is fine. You know, chop off the bottoms and discard. Drizzle with olive oil, extra virgin, hopefully. Sprinkle salt, pepper. Just about half a lemon on there, and then sprinkle with garlic powder. I use garlic powder because I put them in at 425, and regular garlic sometimes burns, the powder doesn't. And then also sprinkle a little bit of chili flakes. And then 425 for 10 to 12 minutes, and they're pretty much perfect.
Those chili flakes fire it up.
Yep.
All right, that sounds really good. Actually, I like to sprinkle. Just do cracked salt, like sea salt and pepper on olive oiled asparagus and throw them on the grill. And I think that's just awesome. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for joining us and getting everybody fired up about touring and traveling and eating.
Not dying on the road. Yay!
Exactly. You mentioned the Dopamines as like the first band to stay with you, and do you have a Dopamine song you'd like to hear?
I happen to love Douglas Bubble Trousers.
Excellent. Here is the Dopamines with Douglas Bubble Trousers on Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Thanks, Rachel.
Hey, this is Xander T, and you're listening to the best of Punk Rock Foodies Radio 2015.
All right, yeah, hey, you're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. That was Banner Pilot with Intervention. Right now, we have a special surprise guest here. My mom and dad have actually walked into the Vicious Pig Saloon, who always treats us well. Great establishment. And it's interesting that you guys came in. We were talking about soup, and then Dad said that you guys have been eating a lot of soup lately, and that there was some soup called like Chicorino or Chipperino or something like that. What was the deal with that there?
And then after he ate it, he went, oh, I get it. Oh, I get it.
Your Chiappino is not, it's soup.
It is not soup.
It's soup.
Oh, my God.
You eat it with a spoon. It's shit floating in
No.
liquid. It's soup.
You should be eating it with a
Call
spoon.
it whatever the hell you want to call it. It's soup.
You should be eating it with a fork, except that I didn't have real clams in there. I had
You had a little
clams.
piece of shit, clams floating around with those little dinky ass shrimp, and it's soup.
Big shrimp. What are you
Oh, my
talking
ass,
about?
it's soup.
Oh, you're so full of shit.
All right, back to, okay, what else other soup we have this week? We had that
Oh, my God.
pumpkin black bean.
That was really
mush.
good. Oh,
We
it
call
was
it
good.
soup. And you put your sprinkle on it.
Pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, pumpkin seeds that were
And what else? What else
freezer
was on
burned.
it?
Yeah, they were good.
Pumpkins. They weren't freezer burned. Pumpkin seeds and green onion. They weren't freezer burned. You're an asshole.
You eat them
You're
by
an
yourself,
asshole.
they were
Okay, they tasted great in the soup. Shut the.
They were
fuck up.
fine as soup.
Yes.
But it was soup.
Well, that was soup. We did have soup. I was trying to get rid of pumpkin. Shut up. That's because my
You
mother
made a shitload of soup out of a pumpkin.
gave me
Let's make a pumpkin pie every now and
that
then.
size, you know. Pumpkin
I love
pie.
pumpkin pie.
Oh, I know you do. But a couple pieces and that's your done.
Yeah, well, a couple pieces
Okay.
divided over 40
There are
years, yeah.
There are two sizes of cans of pumpkin. There's your 15-ounce size can, and then there's this giant can. My mother gave me this giant can of pumpkin. I'm trying to clean my pantry out. I got rid of my little 15-ounce can of pumpkin at Thanksgiving time. I got rid of that. I'm done. I'll buy another 15-ounce can next Thanksgiving to make something for Thanksgiving. Okay.
Won't be a pie.
Meantime. Probably won't be.
I'll add a little whipped cream on pumpkin pie. But yeah, you can't. You might as well put whipped cream on pumpkin because that's the closest I'm ever going to get to pumpkin pie.
You know, the other side of it is, you cut the pumpkin pie. If he can't hold it in his hand, that's not pumpkin pie.
It's hand
pumpkin
pie.
pie is hand
There's
pie.
hand pie.
There's hand pie. Pumpkin pie has to be hand pie. That's because his mother didn't cook a pumpkin pie the proper way.
Oh, bullshit.
And it always came out to be
proper way. You mean as in good? Yeah,
no,
it was a proper
it
way.
wasn't. Your mother's pumpkin pie sucked.
They were good. She was a saint.
Your mother, oh my God. She couldn't cook worth a shit.
You can make a pumpkin pie.
No, she couldn't.
You know what she never made in her life?
Her pie
Pumpkin
crust
soup with black beans and freezer burned pumpkin seeds in it. Yeah, she never made that. She couldn't cook worth a shit.
Oh my God!
Okay, anyway. What else we want to talk about?
Anyway, my mother gave me this giant can of pumpkin. I mean, this like you can make 2 pumpkin pies out of it.
No, you wouldn't make one, but you can make 6 out of it if you wanted to. You can say anything you want. You won't make 1 pumpkin pie.
What the hell am I supposed to do with this can of pumpkin? Plus, I had a 15-ounce can that she had given me as well.
Your mother's an
So
asshole.
I had all this pumpkin in the cupboard. And I'm going, okay, what am I going to do with it? And the pie and the soup was very good. It was very good.
It was all right.
I made pumpkin waffles with some of it, and then I made pumpkin pie.
You can't see this on the radio, but yeah.
The pumpkin waffles. Shut up. They were good.
I've had waffles 4 times this week. I don't get waffles. Yeah, and you know what you can do? You can dip it in soup and call it a crouton.
I made turkey and gravy over a corn waffle.
That was pretty damn good. But it was the 4th time I had waffles this week. You know, I don't get waffles.
That was pretty damn
10 years
good.
I don't get waffles. I get them 4 times in 1 week. You know, you kind of get sick of shit.
Damn good. Oh, give me a break. If they were pancakes, you'd eat them and not say a word.
Yeah, I get sick of pancakes
waffles.
too. She makes pancakes. She makes like 30 of them, and I got to eat them.
It's one
5
recipe.
times
It's
in
one
1 week.
recipe.
1 week.
And
Cut
no,
the recipe in half.
I freeze them.
There's
I
ways to
freeze
cut
them.
recipes in
I
half.
freeze them.
I understand. Well, yeah, then you serve me the next day frozen.
No, I don't. Oh my God. No, I don't. Oh, you're an asshole.
Yeah, well, I'm good at
You know what? Nobody tied you to the house. Go find another woman to cook for you.
Yeah.
Go. Find a girlfriend. You can go out to dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever you want to do. Go. I already said I want my own bedroom.
Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, what else we got to talk about? Roast chicken we went through.
Oh, roast chicken, my ass.
Spaghetti we get.
Oh, and he got his freaking chocolate cake with white icing finally.
I did. I've been asking for that for 10 years for my birthday. I keep
10
saying,
years, 10 years.
how about a
10
chocolate
years.
white icing? Well, it's Brookie's birthday is close to yours, and she gets to pick. Well, you know what? Sometimes she isn't even with us. How about make it for me when we're by ourselves, because that's what I want, since it's my birthday, and that's what I like. Well, that's not what Brookie likes. Well, it doesn't matter what Brookie likes. She's not here. How about make me what I like?
Yeah, we always.
So she made it, which was fantastic. I had it every day for a week, and that I don't mind because it's not.
Oh, every day for. Oh my God!
And I gave a quarter of it to the old lady down the street, which it kind of broke my heart to give it away. But
oh yeah,
you know,
right.
I probably would have got sick of it after eating it for 8 or 9 days.
I had like 2 pencil thin slices of it.
But
That's all I
it was
had.
delicious, and I thank her very dearly for it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I won't bitch about it for 6 months, maybe a year. And then it'll take 3 or 4 years to get it again. So I don't start the bitching early.
No. See, what the thing is, though, we've had our roast chicken. We've had our chocolate cake with white frosting. I don't know what else. I can't think of it.
I'd like a meatloaf sometime.
But, how, a meatloaf? That's
Regular
like summertime.
Oh, meatloaf is summertime. I keep forgetting the seasonal meals. You can't have. We have soup in the wintertime, which is fine because I'm not a big soup person. But that's not this time of the year. You can't eat that now. You can't eat that. You gotta wait till this time of the year. It's what I want to eat. How about I eat it now because I like it now. I want it. That's not this time of the year. Well, bullshit.
I didn't know meat was seasonal.
Oh, and meatloaf is what is it? Summertime? Meatloaf's a summertime meal.
No,
Chuck roast is a wintertime. What is it?
Meatloaf is not summertime.
What is it? It's a summertime meal? No. Well, how about make it now? It's wintertime.
We've had 3 or 4 meatloafs.
When?
Oh my God.
Okay, in the last 3 or 4 years.
I'll go back in my little book.
Yeah, keep a book. I'm going to start keeping a book.
Good. You keep saying that. I'm keeping the book for you.
Yeah,
I will show you last time we had a meatloaf. And you know, having a meatloaf for 2 people, do you know how freaking long that meatloaf lasts?
Do you ever know how to divide a recipe? And don't give me this
You
shit.
can't.
I have
Some recipes you can't divide.
Pounds of deer meat. You can start packing half pounds of deer meat.
No, some recipes you can't divide. Some recipes you have to just...
Why? You can't divide by 2. You got
Some
everything can
things
be
you
divided.
can't divide by 2.
Like what?
Yeah, what?
Like meatloaf. Oh my God!
Yes.
You know the Roman meatloaf? There are 3 eggs in that meatloaf.
Hard boiled.
Yes.
2.
No, that's not half a recipe.
They'd be a little tighter. What the hell's the difference? They're quail eggs. They'd be closer together. Put them side by side. Don't put them end to end. You know, use your imagination. It's a meatloaf.
But it doesn't matter. You love meatloaf, so you should want to eat it until you your eyes bug out.
I don't care if you make a big one. I honestly don't care if you make a big meatloaf because I like meatloaf. But I like them more than once a year.
You
know?
get it more than once a year, you dick.
3 days a week.
Yeah, that's a problem too. There's nothing smaller than a 9 by 12.
Okay, I made a mushroom
casserole
quiche.
dish.
I made
Everything
a mushroom.
is 9 by 12.
Oh bullshit!
I don't care. You know what it is. We're gonna have. You're gonna eat that son of a bitch for the next week and a half because I made a 9 by 12.
I made a mushroom quiche because of it being Lent. We had mushroom quiche for dinner and a salad. We've eaten it 3 times. Once for dinner, twice for breakfast.
It was very good.
But we've not one complaint out of him. He had to eat it 3 freaking times.
Because it was good.
Oh, fight me.
There's some shit you make that isn't good, and I gotta eat it 5 times.
What does she write in the cookbook next to it?
Oh, excellent! Always says excellent.
Because it was.
Let me go in there and write what I think it is. But if I bitch about anything, I tell her 10 times out of 10, 10 times out of 15, this is really good. I tell her 3 times it sucks. I get so much shit for telling her something sucks.
It's 3 times in a row. Every night for 3 nights. He bitches about something. And you know what? And
what am I supposed to do?
What was Ted Williams' batting average?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
He hit the 400. That means he fucked up 6 out of 10 bats, you know, and I'm giving you 3 out of 10.
But the thing is, there's nothing in it that it's not that he doesn't like it. He goes, what's that spice?
Well,
it's like
salt, pepper,
oregano.
It's salt, pepper, get it the hell out of there.
Well, that's what they did in that pasta with the vegetables. That was all your favorite spices were in that one.
Which one?
The pasta with the vegetables?
Yeah, that was okay.
Oh, that was okay. That was all your favorite spices. Salt and pepper. That was it. That was all that was in that goddamn thing.
You know what?
Boring.
He needed salt.
Well, add salt. Add more salt to it. Nobody stopped you about salt.
Seasoning. Did you watch those shows?
Oh my God!
What do you
Oh
do?
my God! And you know what? No, he hasn't.
my
He
cross to
hasn't
bear.
hit. He hasn't hit. He hasn't hit the cycle. It's like a hamster on a wheel. He hasn't hit the cycle yet Where's the peanut butter cookies? I need the peanut butter cookies. Am I ever going to get peanut butter cookies?
Let's start on cookies. I got about
You
5 kind of cookies I like.
You just finished your black walnut brownies or whatever the hell I made for you.
No, it was
a month ago. It was a month ago.
All right,
You
anyway,
finally, you couldn't even remember it.
I'll give you my 5 cookies I like. Don't make 45 that I don't care for. You wonder why they sit there on that counter.
You know what's so funny? All the
Weeks
Christmas,
and weeks
all the
and weeks.
Christmas cookies got eaten, and you were eating all of them.
Yeah. When's the last time you made peanut butter cookies?
You know what? I don't give them.
When's the last time you made Baby Ruth cookies?
Well, no, Baby Ruth has been a while. I've been thinking about making
When did you
them.
make snickerdoodles last?
Oh, we had them in the summer.
Which summer?
When the girls came, I made... This past summer, I made snickerdoodles when the girls came because I thought that would be a good one for them because they like kind of plain cookies, Zoe, and all that. And I just thought I made these, and nobody ate them. So I went, and neither did he. Yeah, bullshit. They were good. They were snickerdoodles. He's full of shit. Full of shit.
Maybe they're not a summertime cookie.
Yeah,
they are. Those snickerdoodles are a summertime cookie. But it's amazing. When I was making cookies, people buying cookies from me. When I was doing, they always asked for snickerdoodles for Christmas, and I thought, that is a stupid cookie for Christmas.
Oh, because it's something they like.
No, but it's just like
Summertime
snickerdoodles.
cookie. Yeah, summertime cookie.
It's like chocolate chip peanut butter snickerdoodles, that kind of cookie, oatmeal. Those are just your everyday cookies. They are not Christmas cookies. Christmas cookies are special cookies. Shut up, Dick.
What did I say? I'm talking with my hands. You should understand that. Fucking Italian. Okay, I think we're done.
Shut up.
I have it all recorded.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks.
He said I hope it all recorded.
All right. Well, hey, thanks. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're going to go to a song now. I'm going to go drink with my mom and dad. Up now is No Use for a Name, Domino.
Blinding me, it seems you cannot help out with the situation. It always has to be somebody's fault, but never yours.
What's up? It's Skate Rat, and you're checking out the best of 2015 on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
And that was Trusty Chords by Hot Water Music, and you are listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. We were discussing herbs and spices. We talked about Fry Guys salts, and we have got the proprietor on the phone here. This is Verbal. How you doing, Verbal?
I'm wonderful.
Great. So we were talking, and Skate Rat brought up the fact that she stores her basil in salt and was told that save the salt afterwards because it would be flavored. And then your name came up, and I remember you on the page posting a lot about the different salts and gave some samples out to people, and so we thought, let's call you. So first off, tell us how you got started doing these flavored salts.
Well, we got started, my husband and I won a food booth in Oregon at the local festival scene during the summer called Fry Guys, and we do a lot of sweet potato fries and regular potato fries. And I found out about flavored salts, and I thought, well, this will really take it to the next level because it'll give people so many options, and it'll make us, stand out from the other people who sell French fries.
So what did you? So I guess I don't want you to give any secrets away, but like, what's the process? Like, is it a real difficult thing? Like, how do you go about this?
They all the different salts have a slightly different process. Some of them are as simple as, like, say, the sriracha salt. You take your salt and you take your sriracha and you mix them together and you put them in a dehydrator for a certain amount of time, certain amount of, level of dehydration. Then you have to do it over again 3 times. And that's how it gets a really intense flavor. Okay. Or there's like the roasted garlic salt, where you roast garlic and you mix it up and then you roast it again. I'm not giving away too many secrets because, every little step is really important.
So what are some of the flavors of salts that you have?
Yeah, the famous one, of course, the favorite one right now is Tuscan roasted garlic, which is roasted garlic with sage, thyme, and rosemary.
Ooh.
People really love the dill pickle salt. It's absolutely amazing on so many things. It surprised me.
Now, would you consider this like a finishing salt?
It depends. Some of them I prefer as a finishing salt, but some of them are useful for anything. Like nowadays, when I boil potatoes, I always use my garlic salt because it really gets in and infuses the potatoes with wonderful flavor. You can also use it as a finishing salt on top of your potatoes, or I particularly like it on top of a loaf of crusty bread.
Okay, so there's the dill salt, the what do you call it, the Tuscan roasted garlic salt,
roasted garlic,
the sriracha.
Yeah, it's like fairly normal ones like lime and chili lime, Worcestershire, Tabasco, Sriracha, which is sriracha, and Bragg's liquid amino acids is kind of a unique one. And I also have the purple basil salt, which ties it back into the basil.
There you go. So how long have you been doing this salt?
I started making them about a year or a year and a half ago or so, and I think I started selling them to people maybe about a year ago.
Okay. And we have the on the Punk Rock Foodies Radio Facebook page, we've got the link to your Etsy site. So if people want to get in contact and check it out. As we
and if anybody mentions they hear it on here, and they make an order, I'll put a little extra in there for you.
Sweet. Look at that. You get a deal just for listening to the show and ordering some salt. I've been given some finishing salts in the past that were very aromatic. I've yet to use them because I'm kind of fearful of what to put them on, because it's such a strong flavor. It just, like I said, it's very aromatic, and I fear I'm going to ruin the dish that I just made by adding it. Yeah.
Right. It's definitely a delicate balance, and using a small amount is really key, I think.
Right. I got. You know what? I've got to. When I find out what's in this one, I'll let you know, because I swear it reminds me of my great aunt's bathroom. The smell of the floral soaps and whatnot. So I just.
Oh yeah, that's probably not very great. I usually try to tend on a more, it shouldn't overpower any dish.
Right. I also received a smoked salt. Have you done any smoking with your salt?
That is actually on my list of things to do quite soon. I think it's a very fall and Thanksgiving-oriented thing. Yes. And I think that we're probably going to do bigger Himalayan pink rock that it would go into grinders.
We were.
And another fall one we're trying to do right now is chanterelle salt, because Oregon's is full of them this time of year.
You're making me very hungry. That sounds so amazing. So the business is going well. You're selling quite a bit of the salt, or just kind of a lull?
It's a small homemade business. It's just my husband and I, so we don't sell a whole lot right now. I think towards this Christmas season, more people will be interested in buying things, like flavored salt for themselves and for other people.
Well, I'm definitely interested in getting some myself. And for those of you who are interested and you're listening to this, as Verbal said, if you mention when you order that you heard about her and this on this show, you get a little bit extra thrown in.
Oh yeah.
And as you heard the flavors, there's more flavors coming for the fall and the winter.
Five Guys Gourmet Flavored Salt is the Facebook page.
So check out that Facebook page. We'll have the link on our page. Check out the Etsy store. thank you so much for you've answered all the questions that I had about it, because it's almost like an anomaly to me. I just always seen salt and that's it, salt. So.
Yeah, I know. It really blew my mind when I found them. I got myself a 50-pound bag of coarse sea salt, and I just went crazy.
Nice. Do you have a song you'd like to hear?
Yeah, would like to hear Fishbone, Shaky Ground.
All right. On Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Thanks, Verbal.
Hey, everybody out there in Radio Land. This is Brian Reinhardt, and you're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio Best of 2015.
All right, this is Steve Guerrero here on Punk Rock Foodies Radio, and I am joined today by Xander's brother, Eli. So, what up, Eli?
Hey, how's it going, Radio Nation?
Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show.
Is that a thing? Is the Radio Nation a thing? Is it?
I think it is. Everything's a thing nowadays. Your brother, Xander, started this rad Facebook page, dude, so I'm taking it you and him have, similar tastes in punk rock and food?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, dude. What are some of your favorite bands?
I got tattooed on me a few. I got some Bouncing Souls, Strung Out, No Effects.
Killer.
Got a Pennywise tattoo not too long ago. So.
Oh, sweet. You'll love this. I just saw Pennywise and the Bouncing Souls about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, great show, man. The Bouncing Souls killed it, dude. They played a lot of their old stuff and just, oh, man, it was so good.
Yeah.
They're a fun band to see live, man. I dig them. And Pennywise, I grew up in Redondo Beach, which is just next to Hermosa Beach. So I've seen Pennywise, I don't even know, hundreds of times at this point.
I kind of thought about H2O. They played Pittsburgh every other weekend.
Yeah? You're always checking them out?
I saw them. And one of the Rusty Pistachio's cousin, I was a good friend. So, he was always in Pittsburgh. So we always meet up, and that was always a good time.
Killer. That's nothing like partying with the punk rockers, Definitely they get down. So.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So what's some of the things you like to cook? What's on the menu?
I'm a Southern food guy.
Ooh.
Growing up north, cooking Creole and Cajun food is probably one of my favorite. Gumbo. My gumbo is the best gumbo I've ever had.
Nice. I love gumbo, man. I've never really, I've had Southern food, but it's all out here in California, so I don't know if I've had the real deal. But what I've had, I really like. I love me gumbo, love me jambalaya, and we recently got into doing a lot of shrimp and grits around here, so at home at least, I should say. So, how's the beer scene over by your neck of the woods?
Well, I'm in Watford City, North Dakota right now, and the beer scene's kind of slim here. With the whole craft beer movement though that's been going on throughout the country, you're still able to get some decent beers around. I got the other day I picked up a sample pack of Horny Goat out of Wisconsin.
Ooh,
that's more of the summer ales and stuff. They're pretty good beers. They had really cool beer cans, though.
Really? I've never had a Horny Goat beer.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it too.
Oh.
I found it in Watford City, North Dakota.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I love going to the store and getting the sampler packs. You can get 4 different styles of some good beer.
Yeah, the wife and I were just recently down in Deadwood, South Dakota. Just visiting down right nearby is Spearfish. It's actually one of our other punk rock foodies, Abe Ruff, is from that town.
Oh, right on.
And in that town of Spearfish, they got a brewery called Crow Peak, which makes some really good beers.
Ooh.
So we were down there. I picked up a case of 6-packs. Whatever they had.
What beer styles do you kind of gravitate towards?
I'm an IPA guy. I'm a hophead.
Yeah, same here. Nothing like getting punched in the mouth with hops, man. It can't really be too bitter for me. I dig it.
Yeah, I like a good double IPA. It's a lot smoother than just your basic IPA. But I keep trying to get these construction workers that all they drink is Budweiser, trying to try the craft beers. They haven't liked any of the IPAs I've tried.
Yeah, I've had some friends that are like, yeah, no, thank you either. So it's not for everybody. But there's some rad. There's like a Knee Deep and Green Flash. They're two breweries out here, and they pride themselves in making really hoppy beers. One of the beers by Green Flash called Pellet Wrecker. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it lives up to its name.
Good one. The restaurant I used to work at in South Carolina, we had 42 beers on tap. So I tried plenty of. We had one new one every week, no matter what. We rotated about 5 taps. So I was going into work, and first thing I do is try the new beers.
Perfect. Not a bad gig. That's cool, man. That's cool. You get to travel to a lot of different places and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was down in Deadwood, but we did a job there last fall, so I knew what expect out of that area as far as that Crow Peak Brewery. But we were just in Williston, North Dakota, which is about an hour north of where I'm at now. They had a little bar there, Williston Brewing Company, that had a bunch of good beers on tap. But really, I'm trying to find the IPA that turned me on to IPAs, which was actually a homebrew. One of my friends and a fellow punk rock foodie, Ryan Miles, brewed up when he was up in Boston. I loved IPAs after I tried his, and I just can't find it again.
Wow, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's pretty cool that we got some really talented chefs, brewers, bakers in the punk rock foodie gang. I mean, it's really like, fuck, we got like somebody that could do something, like a lot of things well, that's really kind of cool going on the page sometimes, just seeing all the rad dishes on there.
Oh yeah. I want to go to Australia and eat at Jason Anderson's restaurant. Seeing all those pictures, like, I don't know if he's actually doing this stuff or just posting it, but man, that stuff looks good.
Yeah, dude, that guy's badass, dude. His plating is ridiculous, man. It just those colors that he gets, and just some of the combinations of ingredients he uses sound just radical.
Yeah, I'm totally going to eat there.
And it's pretty rad that we got like members just pretty much almost all over the world at this point, man.
It's kind of crazy from where it started with my brother inviting me into this group, and us posting recipes and photos to what it's turning into now is pretty crazy from about 2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah. What have you are there any dishes that Xander makes that you think he completely knocks out of the park that you totally crave or anything like that, or?
It's been a while since he cooked for me. We've been, him being in South Carolina and working all the time, and now traveling around the world, traveling around the country. And trying to. I haven't been posting much lately. And my first pipeline job I did, I was doing the hotel series recipes. I don't know if you were around then, but I was cooking using crock pot in my hotel room.
No, that's rad.
It was, for someone that has to live on the road, or with limited amount of resources, you can still make good food.
Yeah. That's there's a lot of touring musicians that do that. They'll post on the punk rock foodie site. I remember when it was punk rock bowling in Vegas, there was a ton of people cooking in their rooms and making dishes that look good.
Yeah.
Some were great ideas just by I'm going to go out and have a bunch of beers at a dive bar and see some punk rock, and 4 hours when I get back, my crock pot meal is going to be done, and I can eat.
And I'll drink lunchies, and it'll be perfect.
Yeah, it's genius, man. Definitely some vets of the festival that knew the deal.
Are we gonna Punk Rock Foodies gonna get a booth set up at It's Not Dead Fest?
Dude, we need to, man. That would be the sickest. I just got my tickets last week, so I'm definitely going to that.
Said you got a couch for us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That show is just it's like who's not playing, It's crazy.
That's Warped Tour when it was good.
Yeah, back in the day, man. Yeah, Warped Tour used to be so much fun. Now I saw it this year, the lineup, and I'm like, I didn't know like most of the bands at all. Yeah, brutal. Well, anyway, Eli, thank you for making some time and joining us here on the Punk Rock Foodie podcast or a radio show or whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know. But, well, cheers, bud. We'll stay safe out there, and hopefully you'll get some time to cook some meals.
All right, Steve.
All right, man.
Good
Well,
talking to you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Cool.
Right, I'd like to thank Steve, Brian, Skate Rat. I'd like to thank all of our interviewees: Savvi Nichole, Talli Osborne, Donivee Finell, Sheena Kelly, Rob Ahrens, Sharock Slavan, Rachel Taft, my parents, Verbal, and of course my brother Eli. I'd like to thank you guys, the band. You're the reason we do this for the most part. I'd like to thank the people here at the Vicious Pig Saloon. They treated us well all year. 2015, 2016 is going to be just as fun. Check out Burning Rose Studios for all your video and graphic needs. Check out Betty Gear on Facebook. And while you're on Facebook, also come on over. Check out Punk Rock Foodies, the original since 2013. Make food, post a pic, and just live life enjoying punk rock music. Everybody have a great new year, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in 2016. Bone-Ape-Tit.